And we live, man. Welcome to the Cold Truth Podcast, where we tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and don't care how you feel about it. I'm your host, White Boy Chris. I'm going solo a little bit right now till we get some more people to pull up to the cut. But right now, man, I guess we got to get on this fresh news. The NBA is turning into the MMA. Nah, but if for anybody that didn't see, Nikola Jokic Pusha, who he thought was a regular fan, turned out to be the Suns owner. I do not remember that man's name. I would not know if I seen him on the street right now. But if nobody knows what happened, pretty much there was a play. The ball got thrown out of bounds. It was Nuggets ball. The owner was holding the ball as he was trying to get it. Now, what a lot of people is not saying is that if you go look at the clip, he actually contacted Jokic first. You see, Jokic looked, and he's like, oh, okay, and gave him a nice little shove back and went about his business. Now, luckily for us, the fans of the NBA, nobody did not get suspended. He just got fined $25,000. So at least we got that because at this point, playoff time, unless you reach, that number as far as how many technicals they allow you to get before you get suspended, I don't believe there should be any suspensions. It's playoff basketball, man. Ain't nobody got time for, a team won because so and so got suspended. I ain't going for that, man. So I'm glad that the NBA, went ahead, like say, man, go ahead and take this little chump change, $25,000. We know he got that sitting in his back pocket. So I'm glad that they did that and swallowed their pride and ain't try to go out extra with this shit. Because at the end of the day, I want to see both teams competing fully healthy. I don't want to have too many more round one series where you got either injuries that's stopping us from seeing the full competition or whatever else they may have going on. So shout out to the league, man. Y'all finally got one right. Y'all finally got one right. But let's see. In other NBA news, I really think we might have to start changing the conversation about who we think that the. I mean, we we talk about ranking these players top this, top that, top five, top 10. But I feel like that we almost got to separate the regular season from the playoffs at this point because, case in point, Jimmy Butler, we don't talk about him like this during the playoffs. But come playoff time, we're looking at this man a whole lot different. We're looking at this man a whole lot different. So, in that sense, right now, we might have to start looking at Devin Booker as the best player in the playoffs right now. For them to be down 0-2 against the Nuggets, Chris Paul to get hurt, and for him to still be putting up the type of numbers that he's been putting up and add some assist totals to that, I think that needs to be magnified a lot more. And if we're gonna be honest, I'm sorry, KD has not been playing his best basketball these first two series. He had a good game this past game four, as far as we talking about, there's the explosive KD that we're used to seeing. But I can't remember if they had the same points, or more. But Devin had to, still went off and played less minutes. So I just think there got to be something we start talking about is when we start talking about players in the playoffs. Everybody been hyping up Jimmy Butler. Don't sleep on Devin Booker, man. That little light skinned motherfucker been going in and putting in work, and I actually respect it. That's one of them where it was literally everybody was wondering how was he gonna play when it came to KD, and he ain't did nothing to show that he's going to slow down for KD at all. And that was the main thing that we was like, is he still going to be as aggressive? Is he still going to get his shots up? Man, KD damn near been looking like just a real big distraction so that boy can go off because that man has been going nuclear in these playoffs, especially against a loaded Denver team. He's literally been putting a scoring load on his back every game, and I just do not feel like it's been getting talked about enough. I'm sorry, it is not getting talked about enough, and I don't know. It's just my personal opinion. I've been catching some games. I mean, some of us got lives out here, but boy Devin Booker might be showing, hey, This is what I do, man. You put the right team around me, and we saw what happened. They had pieces around them, got to the finals, but even now, I think he is still just maturing and getting better as a scorer every year. For you to have somebody with the caliber of KD come in and you still go out there and be aggressive, that's a good look to me. I fucks with that. Like the fact that you got somebody with, a lot of people just be starstruck. Devin Booker looking at him like, bro, don't worry about it. I got you. You know what I'm saying? He is going out there and literally putting that team on his back and call it crazy. I think he it's an advantage for him that Chris Paul is hurt. You could call it crazy, but me personally, it is an advantage for him that Chris Paul got hurt. Because I don't see him being able to play this way if you got Chris Paul handling the ball as much as he does on the floor. But say, man, we got to start talking about that a lot more. But at the same time, we also need to talk about what's going on with Denver. We see Jokic on the bench talking about, bro, it's literally just two people killing us. And it's literally two people. Now, Cameron Payne did step up. I do feel like he's been doing his job as far as just making sure that he takes care of the ball and don't make dumb mistakes. But if we just talking about the bulk of the scoring, it is literally two people that has been killing these dudes. And I'm gonna shout out Diddy Knows Ball trying to talk about KD's defense because I had saw Michael Porter Jr. drop the hammer on that boy. And I mean he yanked that back and the hammer on that boy. What's going on, my guy?
What's going on? What's going on, man? Who's all in here?
Oh, just me right now talking my little solo shit, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah.
I know you ain't start out. When I just walked in, I don't even know what you're talking about. I heard you dissing KD, man. Man, leave that man alone.
Nah, so I'm just talking shit to my homeboy because he a KD fanatic. That's how to get him. Because we got a little group chat. He was talking about man, I think y'all sleeping on KD defense, and I was like, yeah. In response to that, I seen my MPJ drop that hammer on him in that post.
Hey man, but that's not really.
But that's ball. Yeah, he dunked on him, but that's just ball. Anybody else would have been in that position to catch that, they would have yoked it on his ass, nigga. Let me have a 45-inch vertical. I would have yammed it on him too.
But that's what thing. Only guys who really play defense get dunked on. You know what I mean? You don't really see guys who don't play no defense at all getting dunked on. Jokic.
Okay,
you rarely see that man get dunked on.
KD and Devin Booker both hit 36.
Yeah, that's what KD is hired to do. Y'all got to realize that, man. If you criticize,
I was just saying that we know KD was brought in to score. Like I don't think anybody ever thinks of KD as a but. I just me personally was just saying that I don't think like yesterday, me personally was one of the better games he's had this whole playoff series. Like Kevin Durant really didn't stand out to me in that series against the Clippers, and I think this. Yeah, I don't think like he like a lot like the way that a lot of people was thinking he was just going show up and take over. Like Devin Booker really has been doing most of the scoring load for that team, and I'm just giving, trying to get credit where credit is due and just kind of saying, like, we might damn near, because I know Jimmy Butler going off. I know he doing this thing, but we damn near might have to look at Devin Booker because we thought these boys was done. Down 2-0.
Hey, we. I wasn't one of them. Don't say we.
Hey.
I don't know last week's show. Don't say that was y'all. Not me.
When they went down 2-0, I thought they was gonna get one. I did not think they was gonna win both of them games.
I did. Look, you gotta realize this, and not to interrupt your point, but the Denver Nuggets have not won anything. They have not won anything yet. All Denver's doing.
I ain't saying they have, but just looking at and I'm gonna let you finish, but don't get me. I'm not knocking you. As far as you saying they haven't won anything. Like with this squad right here, they ain't done nothing since 2020, and when they had the bubble down there. You know what I'm saying? They ain't been a complete team since that. But just the way that I done seen them playing, and the way that they went ahead and had that 2-0 lead, I for sure thought that they was gonna hang on to that. But you had missed when I had said before. I feel like the best thing that happened to Phoenix was Chris Paul getting hurt.
Oh, I said that, man. You reading a damn group chat, man.
I ain't see it. I ain't see all that. I ain't see it.
Man, look, Chris Paul. Look, I know a lot of people give him a lot of credit, and yes, he's an all-time great. But I really think,
yeah, but we gotta start looking at players and who they are right now.
Right now, Chris Paul gets in the way of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Devin Booker and Kevin are at best when either or is bring the ball up the court and the other one's in the high corner. Because now if Devin Booker is bringing the ball up the court and Kevin Durant is over there in the high corner, kind of hovering over where half court is, he's drawing a defender with him. So now the floor opens up. Now, when Chris Paul gets it, it kind of shrinks the court for those two guys to operate. And again, Chris Paul's trying to make the right play. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, they see the eye to eye. I'm getting a bucket, you're getting a bucket. I'm getting a bucket, you're getting a bucket. You can rest one of them, the other one's getting buckets. Rest the other one's getting buckets.
Because at this point, when I look at this series, bro, it's a 2-on-2 ball game. It's literally got to be Booker and KD against Jokic and Jamal Murray, and we see Jokic put up 53 and Murray put up like 28, and they 80 points between their two best players.
But the thing is,
so to your point, Chris Paul getting hurt was the best thing that happened, because guess what happened? Monty Williams had to go down that bench.
Oh, and look, if you check our messages, I said Chris Paul getting hurt, they become more athletic. Jamal Murray, yes, he got his points, but he didn't really get that many meaningful baskets last night.
Yeah,
he didn't.
Yeah,
because now you got TJ Warren that's on him, you got Cameron Payne that's on him, you got younger legs that are matched up with Jamal Murray. Chris Paul, he can't play defense like how he did in 05. He 5 times caught up to him. But Kevin Durant, I think Kevin Durant is playing some of his best basketball right now because he understands I don't necessarily got to be as aggressive. Kevin Durant's been super cerebral. That Clippers series, he knew Devin Booker, he got the young legs. Let me let Devin Booker go crazy. I'm just going to get buckets when needed. And you saw him do that last night. He kept hitting big shot after big shot. And after he hit that big shot, he kind of chilled out, said, all right, let me let Shamet, let me hit it at Shamet in the corner. Let me find Shamet again. All right, let me stand over here in the high corner. Let me let Devin Booker operate. Oh, shit, we need a basket. Boom, boom, boom. Take my man off the dribble. Hit that nice little mid-range jumper. Kevin Durant's cerebral right now. He understands. And why I think Phoenix is going to win this series is because you have a 2-time finals MVP in Kevin Durant. You got Devin Booker, who's played in the finals. Those two guys have won on the road. Denver, we have not seen Denver beat anybody really in the playoffs. We haven't. It's since 2020, the only teams that we've really seen them beat in the playoffs are the Portland Trailblazers. They beat Utah one time, and now they just
2020. Well, shit, 2020 was the last, because ever since then, if I'm not mistaken, I think they've been knocked out the first round, right?
I think they beat Portland, they beat Utah, they beat Portland again, and then who they played in the first round this year? They played who the fuck they play? Exactly.
Minnesota.
They played the young Timberwolves. And I know I'm switching.
So last year they played Golden State in the first round. And they got knocked out. I can't remember who they played the year before that, but they got knocked out in the first round too, if I'm not mistaken. Because the past 2 years is when Murray had been hurt, and I believe Porter Jr. had been hurt when they went to the playoffs. The best year they've had since this year was when they was in the bubble. They played Utah. Remember they played the Clippers the second round. Remember they was down 3-1. They played Utah. They played the Clippers, and then that's when they got knocked out in the conference finals when they played the Lakers.
Was it the conference finals against the Lakers? Was that Clippers? Yeah. Was that Portland? Was it Portland that was one, or was it?
Portland ended up having to play. I can't remember who they played in the first round. I want to say they played the Lakers the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, but regardless, the point being is, Denver, I don't think, and again, I'm not trying to take away from them winning playoff series.
Oh, okay, they said they lost in the Suns the second round. Okay, somebody corrected me.
Okay,
Go
good.
ahead.
Suns second round, but regardless, I'm not taking away from what Denver has done. When you win a playoff series, you win a playoff series. You can't help who you match up against. But my take on Jokic is this, and I like we said in the chat, this is the most important playoff run for Jokic's career, at least to me. Because if Jokic puts up these numbers and they're the number 1 overall seed and they can't beat a banged up Phoenix Suns team to make it to the conference finals, now that opens up the discussion. Are people going to criticize Jokic the same way they did Russell Westbrook and James Harden? Are they going to criticize him the same way? Because what we're seeing is a guy who's putting up all these numbers that's not winning. Because he's not winning. If he does not beat this Phoenix Suns team, are we going to criticize him the same way we did James Harden and Russell Westbrook when they were getting 40-point triple-doubles and saying, well, they're not winning games? Or are we going to keep
– they both was in Houston?
Oh, I mean, Westbrook whenever he was in Houston, Westbrook when he's in OKC, Westbrook when he's in –
Oh, just them in general. Just them in general. Okay.
They just put up that stat the other day. James Harden has, 27 40-point playoff games?
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. And he's one of the most criticized playoff players in NBA history. And he has 20-plus 40-point playoff games. And yet we criticize him for what he's done in the playoffs. And he's a man who's been to the NBA Finals before. If Jokic with this team can't beat the Phoenix Suns in the second round and is putting up these numbers, are we going to criticize Jokic and say, oh, you got to change your style of play the same way we did those other guys? That, to me, that's going to be the burning question if they don't get the job done.
But I would have to go back and look at the game because I had to go back and look at highlights. But as far as go look at it in depth, because the only thing about him is I don't like his offensive game. I don't feel like you have to change. If you're talking about overall game, I just feel like and what's crazy is that he still goes up and gets rebounds, but I just really feel like if he just brought a little bit more to the defensive end, because anybody
that's what I'm saying. I'm not.
Yeah, because anybody that because anybody that knows me knows that when I talk about defense, 9 times out of 10, when I criticize a player on defense, I criticize strictly effort. That's the only thing I really criticize. Defense is literally 90% effort, and then you got the small percentage of motherfuckers that really treat that shit like an art, like a craft, really try to critique that shit. You know what I'm saying? So with Jokic, I just feel like I don't see as much effort on defense as I would love to see, because I've seen too many times where it's like how you said, he puts up these numbers, but at the same time, it's a layup line. And I'm not saying it's all on him, but when you got people that say, hey, your center is supposed to be the anchor of your defense, at the end, last time I checked, he is the center for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we can't sit here and act like they ain't got decent perimeter defense. We got Aaron Gordon that can play defense. We got KCP that puts effort out there. So at the end of the day, big man, you got to lock down that paint.
Oh, and again, I see somebody in chat talking about the offensive stats against what he does on defensive end. There was a point in the fourth quarter last game, you had Aaron Gordon sticking DeAndre Ayton, and DeAndre Ayton bully balled him and got himself an and one. And the whole time I was like, damn, shouldn't Jokic, a bigger body, have been on him? But again, they probably felt, we would go with a smaller Aaron Gordon in this situation. Then like I said, the guy that's supposed to be the anchor of the defense. But Jokic, I have my issue with him, but he is one of the top 5 players in the NBA. But if they want, he has to make a big commitment to the defensive end. He has to be a guy that sometimes, I'm talking about all the time, can be able to switch on those high pick and roll situations or can play help side defense. But you just kind of see him standing there. And that's not going to win you any games past the second round of playoffs.
Yeah. Hold on, man. Somebody's asking me to drop the link. He said we talking crazy.
Man, who is that crazy motherfucker? That's a problem, man. You tell me. Would it not be fair criticism if this man does not win against the Phoenix Suns as the #1 seed for us to critique his game? People getting too damn sensitive. They too damn sensitive. That's a problem. They think everybody's perfect. You can't say that somebody ain't doing something right. If he don't win, then something is wrong. Something got to change. Oh, but he put up 50 points. Oh, he shot 60. He's 7 foot. He needs to shoot 60% from the field. You act like he a guard. You kidding me? Show ass on.
Yeah, I mean, because he just because he had said if y'all watch that game and y'all want to joke to the more, I don't know what to tell y'all. Now that specific game, I ain't gonna too much critique him because I can't sit there and be a hypocrite because I say the same shit. The motherfucker did put up 53, and it's like you get to a point like, okay, what more could he do? Again, I would have to go back and look at that game and say, okay, did he actually put some effort on defense, or was it one of them layup lines I seen again? That's the only thing that I can legitly go back and critique him on is just his defense. Because motherfuckers be saying like, oh yeah, they did, but at the same, I mean, I'm just one of them people. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like I said, I like Jokic, but that's really the only thing I ever talk about him is just his defensive side of the ball. But last game in particular, I can't even get mad at it because it's like, okay, even if you don't give me no defense, the fact that you drop a 50 piece, I can't. Myself personally, if you drop 50, I'm not really gonna critique you so much on your defense.
So
let him have had one of his normal. Let him have had one of the normal 30-point game, and they would have lost the same way. Then I would have been a little bit more heavy as far as his defense. You know what I mean?
But where was this? Where was this empathy with Houston James Harden? Is what I keep saying. Was it not the same thing? Were these not the same type of numbers? Yes, Jokic will have less turnovers and yes, less better field goal percentage because of the position that he plays. But is it not a similar thing?
Bro, dude had 53 and 10, dog. Come on now.
James Harden had 50-point triple doubles
in the playoffs.
We can check James Harden. I don't have the numbers right here with me.
He went 20 for 30. He had 11
games in the playoffs.
Bro, if you could watch that game and you putting that on Jokic, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not putting the game on Jokic, son. I'm saying if they do not win this series, should he not get criticized the same way James Harden and Russell Westbrook did?
No, because James Harden and Russell Westbrook, they dropped in the playoffs. They dropped in the playoffs. They field goal percentage.
James Harden has
everything drops.
Point playoff games. Russell Westbrook leads NBA history in playoff triple doubles. Come on, man.
I ain't never seen James Harden and Russell Westbrook play on this level in the playoffs ever.
Oh, yes, I have. Russell Westbrook and James Harden.
53 and 11 on 60% shooting?
They're not going to shoot 60. He is a center. Centers are going to shoot better from the field than guards.
He shot 50% from three. He took 4 threes.
He took 4 threes. He took 4 of them. You act like he shot 9 or 10.
So we gonna act like he wasn't hitting mid-rangers. He wasn't hitting floaters.
He took 4 of them. Come on.
This is what I'm saying. Outside of when Jokic lost the ball in the final 30 seconds or whatever.
And let James Harden done that shit. Let James Harden have done that shit.
Man, if James Harden would have went out there and lost going 53 and 11, it's nothing. You can't do nothing but tip your head to Landry Shamet.
James Harden big-time playoff games, and y'all niggas still talk about his defense.
Bro, can I just say this one thing?
Man, why is this ball?
Why don't we say? So we gonna say Jokic didn't do his job. So you gonna say Jokic didn't do his job when Aaron Gordon didn't get no buckets, when Michael Porter Jr. didn't hit no jumpers.
Who gave you the link?
Why you not blaming Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr.? Why you going?
Because they're not
53 and 11.
They're not the 2-time regular season MVPs. This is
I've never seen
a back-to-back MVP get more freeway than this guy.
Can't wait to kill Jokic. Just say it.
I've ever seen. How are you
Just
the
say
back
he's
to
big, white, and doughy. You don't like him.
passes? If he's a back-to-back MVP, he needs to be the most criticized, scrutinized player we've ever seen. We should
How
expect
after
most
you
out
get
of this
53
dude.
and
But
11?
we're
There's only so much
already,
you can say to
hold
a
on,
dude getting
we're
53
already
and 11,
set
bro.
up so that if he does not make it past the Phoenix Suns, oh, well, he had a 50-point, 60% game. He did everything.
We gonna kill him.
So
You the back-to-back MVP. You need to beat the Phoenix Suns that are missing their starting point guard.
But this what I'm gonna leave it at this, Chris.
Yeah,
this
please.
what I'm saying. Aaron Gordon do his job offensively?
We talking about dunk contest, nigga? What? If he jumped over the mascot, he did his job. If he jumped over the mascot and dunked the ball underneath his legs, he did his job. That nigga ain't an all-star.
Did Michael Porter Jr. do his job offensively?
Did he jump over the spinning mascot? Was the mascot spinning? He jumped over him.
All that is cute. But you had two starters that didn't shoot over 45%. Them dudes in the low 30s, in the low 40s. Come on. Now.
Okay, okay.
Come on.
I'm animated.
Aaron Gordon didn't get no buckets. Landry Shamet outscored both them dudes. Come on now.
Aaron Gordon is there for defensive purposes. He is there to be that big man that can switch on high screening rolls. He is a rim runner. That's what Aaron Gordon is. We're not going to look at what his field goal percentage is. Not everybody's there to shoot a high percentage from the floor. That is not his job.
So we got one comment. We say Denver can't lose this series. No excuses. Jokic didn't have but he said that Jokic didn't have any blame for that last game. So he's agreeing with you. He's agreeing with you. He said, yeah, they ain't got no excuses to lose, which I don't think they do.
Chris, you got Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon field goal percentages for that last game?
I ain't talking about my dudes, dog.
Because you trying to kill Jokic when that shit wasn't his fault. Come on.
But I said Jokic on the defensive end. I said Jokic has to get better effort on the defensive end. We all know he's a phenomenal offensive player. He is a phenomenal offensive player. This is the same story that we have seen with Russell Westbrook and James Harden, is what I'm saying. My big point is those two guys were phenomenal offensive players. Westbrook at least gave some type of effort on the defensive end. His story was really more about his turnovers. James Harden was an atrocious defensive player, just like Jokic. And even with James Harden's 40-plus point playoff games, we still found room to criticize him. Jokic is a two-time regular season MVP. They are playing against a banged-up Phoenix team and couldn't get one road game in Phoenix. You lost back-to-back.
So Phoenix banged up because they're missing a watch Chris Paul. Come on, don't do that.
Look.
They play better without him.
Look, and again, it's not even
who
just
you ask me for. Did you ask me for Michael Porter Jr.? You said Michael Porter Jr. and who else?
Michael Porter Jr. hit some big shots, though.
You said Gordon?
Yeah,
MPJ.
Okay. So Aaron Gordon shot for 50%. He went 5 for 10. Michael Porter Jr. went 4 for 13. He shot for 31%.
He a donkey. I mean, dog. It's what Jamal Murray do?
Jamal Murray.
Points,
let me see, because he ain't asked me for him. But
Jamal
Murray scored 28 points. 28. He went 13 for 25.
Yeah, he had a pretty good game. But this is what I'm saying. If Michael Porter Jr. is supposed to be your third option, he going 4 for 13. Criticize him. He didn't do his job. Jokic did his job. It's easy to blame Jokic at the end of dig deeper. Because you can also say Landry Shamet saved the hole.
Scoring was not the problem for them. They had a guy that scored 53. It was not the problem for them. It was the
Jokic was never guarding Durant and Booker. Those are the two that went off. Landry Shamet went off. Jokic was never guarding none of those dudes.
What Aiden have? Why was there not any help defense? Why was there not anybody else coming to play help defense?
That's what Jokic is supposed to guard.
Jokic is supposed to play help.
So compare Jokic matchups.
Jokic matchups.
Aiden went 3 for 6. He went 50%, but he only shot the ball 6 times.
Aaron Gordon was on Aiden more than Jokic was.
He didn't do nothing. My thing is,
But
Jokic is a center, right? What did the centers do for the Phoenix Suns? What did the centers do? What did the power forwards do? They got killed on the perimeter. Jokic doesn't go to the perimeter no matter how good of a defender he will be.
They were not used as much, which only puts more emphasis on the fact that Jokic isn't hugged up on his man on the defensive end. He could play help side defense. Now, I get it. You don't want your two-time MVP to get into foul trouble. But when it's late in the game in the fourth quarter and you only have 1 or 2 fouls, you got to play better help side defense. You got to. And Jokic is not. And again, we got to feel comfortable criticizing. It's okay. You can still think he's a great player.
But this is the wrong game to criticize Jokic. That's really all I'm saying.
So you think he played great defense? You looking at numbers. I'm watching the game, and I see this man is not helping on defense.
Say, man. So y'all, I want y'all to have that same energy for Trae. I want y'all to have the same energy for Bam Adebayo when he don't play offense. When Jrue Holiday doesn't play offense. I want y'all to have the same energy when Anthony Davis doesn't play offense.
Bam does what he's supposed to do on offense. He runs the floor. He's a pick and roll guy. He's a rim runner. He does that shit. Nobody wants Bam. Nobody Bam is gonna score 30 a night. What?
Hey, man, if you want to nitpick Jokic, a dude that he done accounted for almost 75 points.
Nobody's arguing the fact that the man scored the basketball. No one's arguing that he can score the basketball.
We know why can't Jokic play defense? Give me a reason why Jokic can't play defense.
It's effort. It's effort. It's effort. It's effort. It's effort. It's effort.
Jokic being he has athletic limitations, just like Trae Young has athletic limitations. Just like
Marcus Gasol had athletic limitations. Marcus Gasol had athletic limitations. Marcus Gasol had great effort.
Not like
PJ Tucker has athletic limitations. He has great. I mean, come on, dog. It's not about athletic limitations. Come on, you 7 foot. Shit.
If you think Jokic is a bad defender,
so y'all get one more point off, and we gonna have to move on to the next series, man. But I like this. I like this, man. But go and get one more question off. Get one more question off.
I'm gonna get off.
Nah, but this is the one I told you I do my one on Thursday with. But if some people want to go on and come on and get this smoke, they're gonna get this smoke.
Oh man, dog, man. I'm gonna have to deal with this guy for the rest of the show.
Nah, man, he just on here for the topic. He just on here for the topic.
I'm messing with you, man. You can stay on, man. I'm fucking with you.
I just want to say this one thing. It's easy to criticize Jokic because he is the superstar. He is going to get the blame. But when Michael Porter Jr. is going 4 for 13, criticize him too. He was taking bad shots. He was missing wide open jumpers that led to some of those Landry Shamet threes in the corner. Like, you got to criticize that too. It's
okay, so here's my thing.
To nitpick a dude that goes 53 and 11, and he shoots 60% from the field. He took 30 shots, he made 20 of them.
When they win the game, who do we talk about? When the Denver Nuggets win a game, who do we talk about?
Talking about the stars.
Okay. Oh, so when you lose, you talk about the stars. On the road, it's about the stars. The others, you hope they give you something. Aaron Gordon gave you something. Hope the others give you a little bit. On the road, that's when your stars got to take you home. We all know that. You can't expect the other guys to put up the home performances on the road. The stars got to carry that team. I mean, that's a given, man.
I understand, man.
Yeah.
But Landry Shamet should never outplay Michael Porter Jr., and I'm gone.
All right, Diddy knows ball. But yeah, man. Someone skipped to the third option when they couldn't get it done. Oh man. That dude funny, man. But we're gonna go on to the next series, man. How y'all feel about this Lakers and this Warriors series?
Man, here's the thing, man. I know bronze sexuals Right now, they dance.
Oh, damn.
Out the window right now. I'm looking out. I see about 10 bronzesexuals out there dancing in the street butt naked, man. It's a great time to be a bronzesexual, man. You got LeBron. What's the series? 2-1? What is it?
Land of the Heartless. We're going to probably get you on Thursday, my boy.
Yeah, man. So,
right now, they 2-1. They 2-1 right now.
2-1. So you got the Lakers up 2-1. Bronny just committed to USC. Bronzesexuals are at an all-time high right now. And honestly,
that USC thing really wasn't no surprise, though.
Yeah, no, I was just about to get to that. People are really thinking like, dang, this is a shock, including myself. But when you really think about it, a healthy
Bro, they've been talking about that for like 3 months. Like, we knew he was going to USC. I don't know why people surprised.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the Lakers being up 2-1. A healthy.
Oh, they surprised about that.
Oh, a healthy Anthony Davis is one of the best players in the NBA. He's one of the best players in the NBA. And no discredit to LeBron. LeBron's been playing, great in the playoffs, but Anthony Davis is impacting both ends of the court at a Hall of Fame level right now. Golden State can't get anything in the paint. They can't get anything in the paint. Anthony Davis has been as impactful as he's been his entire career, but it's just when you watch him play, it's almost like you're watching him playing with, while you're holding your breath. Because Anthony Davis, he's always just one bad step away from being out for the season. And if he goes down, they have zero chance of winning. I'm not even going to give them a 2% chance. If he goes down, I don't care if the Lakers go up 3-1. If Anthony Davis goes down, it's over for him. So it's really just going to be a battle of attrition for them.
It's kind of hard to kind of critique that dude just because I feel like the only reason that they would really lose, in my opinion, is if he is out, you're gonna lose his defensive presence. That's the only thing I feel like they just really like as far as consistency, like what they getting consistently from him, they gonna miss his defense because offensively we've seen where he ain't really had an up to par game. And they still able to pull it out with him underperforming. And I hate to be on this, FS1, ESPN, Stephen A type shit as far as like, oh, he only doing good in odd number games and come time for an even number game, like game 4 or some shit, that's when he wet the bed. And I don't know what it is about that, bro. But again, I ain't trying to fall into that trap because I ain't no ESPN. All I can do is just critique what he doing game by game. So it's just one of the things, bro. He's just a hard player to critique. But if you ask me personally, like as far as a player, I don't feel like people are talking about enough. I feel like the X factor in this series is going to be D'Lo. It's going to be D'Angelo Russell. If he continues to have a good game, like just a consistent game, if he can get him 20 points a game, I feel like that they're going to win because you haven't been getting that consistent scoring from Austin Reeves this series. And AD, for whatever reason, continues to be a literal roller coaster as far as what it gives you on offense. I feel like if you at least have what AD is giving you on defense and you can keep D'Lo, what he's doing on offense, LeBron is pretty much just going to go off of, how he feel the game is going. Like we saw what he did game 1. He was inefficient as hell. Game 2, he didn't, he was more efficient but didn't have to put up as many points. That's when AD had that 30-point game, 23 rebounds. Game 3, he takes it over, but he ain't got my nigga riding shotgun to go ahead and close that game. Because you think about it, if he gives you his normal, 20, 25 points, that's a closer game, goes down to the wire in the fourth quarter. So I don't know. I just don't. That's one of the dudes I don't really like talking about just because he a roller coaster, bro. It's like we know what he could be if he consistently gave us the same thing all the time, but we got to be realistic with it. I'm not expecting to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But this is kind of one of those things this is that downfall with load management. I think in the regular season, people see it, okay, we want to rest our players' legs and get them ready for the playoffs. But if you hold them out all the time in those back-to-back games, or you play on Monday, then you got to roll back and play on Wednesday, These guys' legs aren't right. Anthony Davis, when's the last time he's had to play on Monday, then come back and play on Wednesday, and then come back again?
Let alone shit, you gave him a day in between. Let's talk about just a true back-to-back.
Yeah, no, so
forget a day in between. We gotta remember they were stopping him from playing back-to-back towards the end of the season.
That's what I'm saying. So now in the playoffs, you got the home games that you have a game in between, and then when you flip, you'll get like two days, and then you play again. So with Anthony, when's the last time he's played 3 games in a week? You know what I mean? Like, I'm on that, but I doubt that that's happened very often. So he's just I feel like he's just trying to get his legs underneath him again. And I know one thing he feels like I can control every single night is my effort on that defensive end. But the offensive side of it, I just think he has to get his legs underneath him. And even then, the fact that he's giving you a great offensive performance every other day, if I'm the Lakers, I'm happy with that. I'm like, well, shit, hopefully, like you said, D'Lo's the X factor, Rory Hachimura, those guys can kind of subside what Davis is lacking on the offensive end. But for me, flipping gears to talk about Golden State, man, I don't know what it is. I don't know if Draymond Green has some secret sex tape or something over this organization's head.
Oh, man.
Hey, you cannot play that man in this series. It is evident. It is so dead. Draymond Green has no role for them in this series. He's fucking shit up, to just put it as lightly as possible. Looney needs to be on the court.
I ain't gonna say all that, bro. That nigga Draymond really was killing them niggas that second game.
Draymond Green is killing his team. You put Looney at the 5, Andrew Wiggins at the 4, Clay at the 3, Poole at the 2, Steph at the 1, and now you can go 4 out. LeBron, who are you going to guard? LeBron, you got to guard somebody. You can't sit there and not play defense. You're going to have to guard somebody. Your ass is going to have to get out there in the perimeter. Or if you want to try to guard Looney, fine. Best offensive rebound.
Okay, if you talking about it in that sense, as far as just making sure that ain't nobody taking a break on the Lakers, then I can agree with you on that, because you're gonna have AD guarding Looney, obviously, who's not known to give you nothing offensively, and you're gonna have LeBron on Draymond, who's pretty much gonna be able to take a break because we're not expecting him to. So if you're talking about it in that sense, I can agree with you, but I'm not gonna act like that he's just a complete, because at the end of the day, when they were playing small with Draymond and actually putting him at the 5, he was guarding AD when he went out there and laid that egg. Like, AD looked bad against him. And Draymond actually gave you Draymond actually gave you something offensively that game with them playing small, and they had Draymond at the 5. So if anything else, bro, that's an indictment on AD, because, bro, AD what, 6'10"? That nigga Draymond 6'6". Get him in foul trouble. Like, you already know how these refs feel about that man. Get him in foul trouble. We got to look at both sides of this. We're going to really talk about this.
But again, I don't think, like I said earlier, it wasn't a Draymond thing. It was an Anthony Davis does not play back-to-back games thing. A healthy Anthony Davis is giving Draymond Green 40 points with half asleep. He'd be half asleep with his dick out, and he's giving Draymond Green 40 points. Draymond Green is past this time and go.
But no, so this game too right here, like, and again, this is Draymond Green. He scored, and this is why I don't feel bad. He scored just as much as Andrew Wiggins is who you trying to put above him. That game too, where they literally had Steph running a true point, and they had Draymond Green playing center. Draymond had 11 points. He had 11 rebounds and 9 assists. He almost had a triple-double. He played in 28 minutes, and Andrew Wiggins played 30, and he had 11, but he had less rebounds and less assists. I'm not going to sit here and act like that Draymond Green is not an important piece to that. If they play a certain way, then yes, Draymond Green is still going to work. The only thing I can support you in that argument is if they got Looney at the 5 and him at the 4, then you literally are limiting yourself. You only got 3 scorers on the floor, because I'm not expecting Draymond to score. I'm not expecting Looney to score unless it's off an offensive rebound and a putback or something like that. So that point I'd agree with you on. But if I'm looking at how they played game 2, they played small. Steph was running the point, and Draymond got some easy buckets to the lane. I can't be mad at that, especially if the Andrew Wiggins, who we expecting to score, he put up just as many points. And if you ask me, Draymond's stat line looks a lot more impressive because of the rebounds and the assists he got.
Well, again, if you're just talking about stats, that takes away from the flow of the game because you got to realize a lot of these times, if they know they're going to get the rebound, Draymond Green is running to the rim and he's securing that rebound because what's his name? Andrew Wiggins is usually running the lanes. He's a lane runner. You want your most athletic guys getting out there and running the lane. So, yes, Draymond's going to get that rebound. He's going to push the ball, and he's going to try to get it out to the wing. So, Andrew Wiggins in that role is not going to get rebounds because he's told when we secure that rebound, you're running the floor. He's your most athletic guy on the court. So, yes, if you put Looney back there at the 5 and now Wiggins at the 4, Wiggins is going to have more of that responsibility to try to secure that rebound. So he's going to get – the stats are going to look a little bit better in that role than they would in his true role now is really just being a lane runner. But my point is with Draymond Green, you take him off the court, now they become a lot more athletic and they become a better offensive team. You can run a true 4 out. LeBron has to guard somebody out there on the perimeter, and he's working on both ends of the court. LeBron is playing phenomenal, but the Golden State Warriors are making it easy on him. LeBron just gets to focus on the offensive end. You got to make him work on the defensive end. What I would do is go 4 out, and we're going high screen and roll. Whoever LeBron James is guarding, then we're going to screen. He's going to have to guard Steph. He's going to have to guard Jordan Poole. But the Warriors are not putting any pressure on LeBron on the defensive end.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
I ain't going to argue that.
Yeah. Oh, man. This nigga
I know you got something to say, DC.
This nigga just now logging on. That's my time to log off. Is E online?
Yeah, we gonna talk this.
Yo,
we
what's
gonna
up,
talk.
Gray? What's up, Gray? I'm just here enjoying the conversation.
Yeah, we gonna talk this. Then we gonna talk. We gonna talk the Heat. Then gonna talk that Boston Philly series. Then we gonna get into a little bit about. We gonna get into a little bit of football, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, bro?
Oh, okay. I'm just saying if everybody else can hear me.
Yeah, I think we got you. We got you. So you good on his take, or you got a response, or how you feeling?
Man, on the Warriors and the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would be okay if somebody was playing.
Oh, you froze up on us.
Ah, shit.
You froze up on us.
Am I freezing?
Yeah, you freezing it up.
Okay, so out of 2 out of 3 games, they made 21 plus threes. I don't think it's the motherfucking offense the problem with the Warriors. It's
not.
Yeah, so sitting here saying this, they do is make LeBron play defense. That's nonsense because there's obviously if you're making 20 plus threes, defense ain't gonna fucking matter. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. They just miss shots or make shots. It's really that simple. The Warriors are always gonna be the same thing with the Warriors. They either gonna win the game by shooting, they're gonna die by it. The real thing is gonna be Anthony Davis. Is how consistent he can be on the offensive end. As long as he dominate inside, the Warriors ain't got shit coming. But if he don't, then the Lakers ain't got shit coming. It's really that simple. People making it bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to beat the Warriors if they on. It's really that simple. There's not a team in the NBA that's going to beat the Warriors team.
The Warriors themselves, man. That's what they've been doing. That's what I'm saying. Beat them.
But you got to live in the Look, what I'm saying is they is great because of they like that. But if you take that away from them and make them a regular team, they're going to be an average team. They got a great team.
DC, I think the same thing. I'm saying they need to put their shooters on the court. The problem is
definitely.
They're limiting their offensive potential by having Draymond Green in that starting lineup. Draymond Green he's not giving you value anymore. He's not. Who is he really slowing down this series? Draymond.
I would say it is. the only game that they won, he locked AD ass up that game.
And
it wasn't lonely.
But no. So you missed our big point. What I was saying, the Lakers in the regular season. I mean, yes, AD was hurt, but they also rested him on all of them damn back-to-backs. AD never really played 3 games in a week. AD now having to play 3 games in a week. His body's not ready to do that yet. I don't think that was a Draymond Green thing. That wasn't a Draymond Green thing. That's just Anthony Davis trying to get back in shape thing. That's really all it. I mean, let's be real. You tell me, 10 out of 10 times, is healthy Anthony Davis versus a healthy Draymond Green. Who is winning that matchup? A healthy Anthony Davis.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It has nothing, when it comes to Anthony Davis, that shit ain't got shit to do with health.
Oh,
it depends.
All it has to do.
I would say, look, I would say this. Aggressive AD that's coming to play AD versus any healthy anybody, he's going to dominate. Don't make it like it's just Draymond Green. You act like Looney could do something with him. If AD is in his bag, there's not a player in the NBA that can guard.
Perfect.
That's what I'm saying.
That makes my point even stronger. So we're already saying that Anthony Davis, if he's healthy, is going to be a factor. Why are we worrying about putting Draymond Green out there if the only
health
is we're saying that he's a defensive player? Draymond Green ain't guarding nobody really. So sit his sorry ass down. You put Looney at the 5, Wiggins at the 4, Clay at the 3, Poole at the 2, Steph at the 1. You got more shooting, and you need to play those young guys and Moody and Kuminga more often, and at least put young athletic guys in front of LeBron.
So you believe that Looney is more valuable on the offensive end than Draymond Green?
I think Looney at least gives you extra possessions on the offensive end. He's been the best rebounder in the playoffs this year.
But hold on. But you know, hold on. But you do know that if you watch the last game, and I'm like about to prove my point, you do know Looney is the big reason why they lost because they don't have to guard Looney. What they do, what they started to do right is while Looney's on the floor, they got AD protecting the up. So Looney is a liability. At least Draymond Green would attempt to shoot, or he'll at least attempt to make a play, or he'll a playmaker. Looney is he's literally.
Hey, Andre, you can go ahead and respond, and we're gonna move on to the next topic.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
All right, no. So my point is that with Looney, yes, he's not the best offensive player, but when you surround him with 3 great shooters, 1 good shooter who could dribble, penetrate, it's not going to be as bad. But when you put Looney and Draymond on the court together, you can't have 2 donkeys out there.
Oh, no, that's a fact. They definitely can't play together. I agree. No matter what it is.
A guy who's going to get me tips and who's at least, 7 foot, then sorry ass Draymond. But I'm going to leave it right there.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and move to Boston in this Philly series.
Yeah.
Oh, this series is over.
Hold on. Philly
it's over.
The game last night.
Yes, Philly just won last night. But the way they had
it, I question if y'all motherfuckers be watching the game because I was in that chat. None of y'all were responding. I said these niggas are going to go online on Monday and we're going to have this podcast and ain't none of y'all did y'all's homework. I know y'all can watch this game. I'm calling y'all out in front of the public.
Yeah, I definitely look. I didn't respond. Look, I didn't respond to when you kept saying Booker either. Doesn't mean I didn't watch it. I watched that game.
I watched that goddamn DC. You text monologues. You text fucking manuscript.
Only when it comes to LeBron.
I know if you were watching the game, you would have gave me a goddamn daily devotion, man.
Yeah, DC, when you really be watching the game, that motherfucker be like, ding, ding, ding.
Hey,
my girl be over here thinking, hey, nigga, don't let it be a late night game. My girl be like, what booty call calling, nigga? Goddamn.
I'm out here creeping. I'm like, baby, I promise you,
it's just that DC.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I would say
y'all's points. I've been running my mouth too much, man. Somebody
I'm
see this.
When it comes to the Philly and the Celtics series, I think it's pretty much over.
Go ahead, DC. Go ahead. Huh?
Now, go ahead. I'm about to say I think it's pretty much over. Only on the fact because, like, looking at that series, even if Philly just won, it's the way they had to win. It's kind of like you're at home and you're struggling at home, and it's kind of like when they go to ball, just don't see James Harden doing James Harden shit through the whole like at a way. Like I feel like that series like is damn near like done for.
So in response to that, I feel like how some people may automatically go to Harden, and I already see Andre licking his chops because you brought up Harden, so he ready to go. But
yeah, not because look, when Harden is a great player. Don't ever. Yeah. I'm not going to disrespect his talent, but Harden is who Harden is. Y'all acting like him making a shot last game. That's going to be Harden. I am telling you what's going to happen. When it gets to game 6 or game 7, Harden won't be there. Joel Embiid will score 30. Harden won't be there. It's not going. Bro, we didn't see every play. You talking about Donovan Mitchell fold? We have seen every playoffs. James Harden has never came through. Just the way when we see Chris Paul and Chris Paul heard again, that shit is normal. Talking about his star point guard. I heard that shit. That shit was laughable. Chris Paul is never available.
You ain't asked me about that nigga Harden though. So hold on.
But Chris Paul is never available. So it's so as James Harden is going to do great. He's going to play great games. But when you need him the most, he won't be there.
He's the avatar.
So,
when the world needed him most, he vanished. You call him Avatar Aang?
I'm about to say what? Spurs, Kawhi was gone. He disappeared. When he played against the Warriors 3-1, he disappeared. Like Brooklyn, he disappeared. He was like hell. OKC, he disappeared. Name one year he played in the playoffs that he didn't disappear when they needed him the most.
When you talk about OKC, James Harden, this is 20.
No, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about every OKC. I mean, I'm talking about every James Harden from OKC, from Houston, from Brooklyn, and Philly.
Brooklyn James Harden really didn't play much.
So
and,
go ahead. I'll let you go.
How many played? Did Brooklyn James Harden never really get out?
What you mean he didn't play much? He was there every game.
I'll say this about this series. Yes, I believe this series is over. I think the Celtics are by far the best team in the playoffs. I think we're underestimating how great this team is. This is a great team. Yes. And I think Atlanta it went to 6. They were bored against those guys. It was like you put a bunch of AP students in a remedial math class. Yeah, they're gonna sometimes not turn in their work because that shit is just boring. Playing against Atlanta is fucking boring. Now they're going to get the Philly team. I don't think they hyped up this series because yes, it's Philly and Boston, the rivalry, yada yada yada. But if we're being real, one team is way better than the other. And no disrespect to Joel Embiid and James Harden, but you got Jason Tatum, who is an absolute elite bucket getter. He's an elite bucket getter. And you got Jaylen Brown, who's a top 3 shooting guard in the game. You got Malcolm Brogdon, who's a rookie of the year. And then you also got what's my man nigga with the hairline, Derek White, who's also a phenomenal player coming off the bench. You got so many weapons over there in Boston. And to me, it's not even close who the best team in the playoffs is. It's not even close who should be favored to win the championship this year. So the fact that 33, 34-year-old James Harden willed his team to win that home game, that's great. James Harden, good job this playoffs. But Boston is going to probably beat them by double digits these next 2 games.
I want everything you said, every point you said. I 100%. That's the reason why I said I feel like this series is over. Yeah, it would have been done for if you don't make that shot.
Yeah, I want everything. That's why we give a lot of credit to James Harden. I think with Philly right now, they got to do something about that Tobias Harris contract.
Yeah.
And then Maxey's got to take a leap forward. I think they hurt Maxey's confidence a lot during the regular season when they benched him. I think they should have kept giving him those starter minutes. That way he could be ready for the playoff run. He's had good moments, but you just wish he could have been a lot better. And they got to revamp that bench because Philly's other guys their game does not travel at all. They are non-existent on the road. But Boston, man, it's like those guys just coach themselves. I mean, it's like they coach them. That team, if they don't win the final year, I would be shocked. Now, these boys over there in Miami, I don't know what it is about them, but they just play really tough. But even then, I still think Boston is just going to run away with the title.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think Celtics by far has like better team than Philly, but I won't agree about the best team in the playoffs only because this is how I look at it. I think the Heat and the way they play will be a hell of a competition to play against anybody. The way they play, I think they'll be neck and neck to them than anybody. But I will say this. I don't think that when it comes to the East and the West, and I feel like it's really through matchups, I don't see none of them teams beating the Warriors. No team on the East, I see beating the Warriors. But I see damn near every team possibly beating the Warriors in the West. But I see a balanced finals when it comes to the championship, if that makes any sense. Because the way the Warriors play,
talking about
I don't really. Huh?
If we're switching gears, we'll talk about that. My thing with the Heat is, and I love it.
Hold on. Before y'all get to the Heat, I got.
Go ahead, my man. Go ahead.
Yeah, because that's gonna be because I heard y'all. I feel like y'all are really missing a key element into why Boston is losing. Why ain't nobody talking about Jaylen Brown?
Look, man. You look.
No, hold on. If we can sit here and bring up Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr.,
I don't know why
they're talking about Jokic. Why are we not talking about Jaylen Brown?
Well, because sometimes I think we'll try to psychoanalyze look too much into some shit, man. Like to me, and I hate to say it ain't that big of a deal. You playing against James Harden, Joel Embiid, and some donkeys. I mean, you playing against Bird. He know Jaylen Brown. He's done this long enough. These boys been balling since they were in diapers. Jason Tatum was getting big time playoff wins his rookie year. These guys know how this shit works. They attack the playoffs like some old heads. Jaylen Brown knows shit. I ain't trying to play out here in Philly like that. That's you know what? We'll win the next one in Boston.
The only why I bring that up is because, for one, we already know who everybody's going to center their attention on, right? And the only reason why I bring that up is because at the same time, I'm not trying to put it all on Jaylen Brown. I'm also kind of putting this on coaching. Because at the end of the day, no. Because hold on. So hear me out. So when we look at Jaylen Brown, right? So game one, right? I don't know if y'all heard, and I ain't just saying like, just y'all in general, but a lot of motherfuckers talking about, okay, why did Jaylen Brown only get 10 shots off in that game? He went 8 for 10, and he was clearly the most efficient player on that floor, but he only got 10 shots, right? Now, if you want to say that the second game and the third, because he played that, he got 9 for 17, he shot 52% for the floor. The third game, he played bad. But this last game, he went 10 to 16. And the way I look at it is like, okay, you're my second best player on the court. Jason Tatum is, if you and Jason Tatum damn near, in my opinion, need to be putting up the same amount of shots. Because when we looking at, because the same way how we try to talk about the defense, right? Who's guarding Jason Tatum? Like, just who could you who's guarding him?
Well, I mean, we always say that, but again, like with the Celtics, especially since they got Horford at the 5, a lot of times they run 5 out. So it's not necessarily who's guarding them because they're always going to look at who has the sorriest motherfucker on them. All right, you come here and you set me a screen. That's kind of what the game has gone to. And again, it's always about the flow of the game. It's always about the flow of the game. If they
But this is just my opinion, bro. When I look at the Boston Celtics, like everybody talks about Jason Tatum, but I understand that he is the superstar, but I can at the same time say that he is the superstar on that team. I can also say that I feel like Jaylen Brown is the most important piece on that team in this series right now. I don't know. Jaylen Brown needs to get more involved in their game plan.
Well, I mean, if we just look at this series right now, like I said, I mean, shit, Jaylen Brown led him in points game 2, did he not? 25 points.
That was game 2. But I'm just
saying we make it seem like he out here just doing, doing donkey shit.
But like, that was one game. But Andre, you talking about one game. I'm talking about for the whole series. I feel like that he needs to be a more important player in this series than Tatum, in my opinion. Because the simple fact of the matter, what you just brought up, they won a game with this nigga Tatum going what? 1 for 7, 1 for 9, whatever the hell the numbers were.
But I mean,
and what did Jaylen Brown do?
But you also got to remember, Jaylen Brown, for the most part, he is, he has that matchup with James Harden. So he's having to work a little bit more on the offensive end than Jason Tatum is. Jason Tatum has Tobias Harris, who is a 3-time member of the All-Ski Mask team. Tobias Harris out here stealing money. We should call him Greg Abbott. He's just out here just stealing money. That's all he's doing.
Hey Chris, to answer your question.
DC, I'm gonna let you go. But Andre, are you saying like I just want to get you saying that you feel like James Harden is a defensive problem?
I feel like James Harden is still James Harden. Like, look, we can talk about.
I ain't trying to be. I'm just asking the question. But DC, you can go ahead.
Yeah, but no. Here's my one point. In the series so far, Jason Tatum is averaging 24 points. Jaylen Brown is averaging 23.5 points. Jason Tatum's averaging 4.8 assists. Brown is averaging 4.5. They both average 1 block. I mean, they're doing virtually the same thing. And Jaylen Brown shooting 40% from behind the arc compared to Jason Tatum's 32%. So, I mean, he's not having like a memorable playoff series where you're just like, man, this is great. But you
just said his percentage is higher.
No, Jaylen Brown's is. But
that's what I'm saying.
Hear me out. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players for the Celtics. Not my bad. 6 players for the Celtics averaging double digits, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are averaging over 16 points or higher. They're moving the ball around. They don't need one guy right now to just completely be dominant. They move the ball better than any team in the NBA. Nobody's forcing shots. I think that's what's going on with Jaylen Brown, to kind of end my point. He's not forcing anything. They don't have to. They're so damn good on the offensive end that they don't need to force shots.
I guess we're going to agree to disagree. But DC, go get your last point off. We're going to get to this Heat next series.
Hey, let's go, E. Come on.
Go ahead, DC.
What's up? I'm here. What's going on?
You good, man? Fuck
it. Yeah. Nah, me listen to both y'all points. I feel like y'all both right in certain things. I would say this, though. I feel like this. Looking at the series, I do believe one of the superstars going to have to actually be a superstar and not just the same as another player. See, the Celtics and their problem is the same problem that the Heat always run into, but Jimmy Butler is actually kind of defining that. That's the reason why I feel like they're way much better now. It's because you can have a bunch of average players or are playing averagely good, but 24 is not enough. Like, it's not enough. No matter how you want to shape it in these playoffs, 24 points is garbage. You know what I mean? Because it's so easy to score. So one of these players is going to have to get to 27, 28. It don't matter if it's Jaylen Brown or if it's Jason Tatum. I 100% agree that one of them had to step up the scoring. Now, I will say this, though, and I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I feel like Jaylen Brown is a more aggressive defensive player, too. So I understand that Jason Tatum also played defense, but I feel like Jaylen Brown played a little bit more better defense to me. To me. You know what I'm saying? Only because of the style. I'm not saying Jason Tatum can't play defense.
He's
It's just the style of playing defense. You know what I mean? I feel like Jaylen Brown's more aggressive, so a lot of his shit is gonna be more of upcheck. Like Jason Tatum, he's a more finesse player on defense and offense. So
you watch that man we played at Duke? Jason Tatum's a great defensive player. He's a great
but it's not. But you got different type. Okay, let me explain what I mean by defensive players because I love defense.
Get your shit out, DC. We gonna head to this Knicks series because they on right now.
My bad. When I say two defensive players, I mean you have Pat Belly and like Devin, like you know what I'm saying, like Dylan Brooks type players defense, and then you have finesse players like a Kobe. Like
so you got guys who act like they can play defense, and then guys who act.
Okay, well, same. Okay, people that can really play. Tony Allen. See, like it's
Tony Allen, Kobe, Wade,
Draymond Green, and everybody else. You got two types of styles of defense. I just feel like Jason Tatum is more finesse, get to the right spot and play defense that way. Jaylen Brown is I'm just a better athlete than you, and I can play defense type shit. So
you feel like Jaylen Brown is more of like I could take you one-on-one.
Athletic defensive player is going to use more on defense than a finesse defensive player. That's what I'm saying. So he'll spend way more energy than Jason Tatum have to because he's more finesse. He doesn't know how to pick his spots, get to when he get to. If he feel like he's going to get blown by, he's not going to trail it. He's going to let somebody blow blind. But like he's not going to make the wrong mistakes on defense. So I just feel like Jaylen Brown used a little bit more like energy on defense than Jason Tatum do. But with that being said, I feel like one of them going to have to step up and score at least 27-28 to finish this series out because 24 from both of them is clearly not enough. Like, and it can be enough dealing with the Philly. You know, they're going to be inconsistent, but to go ahead and dominate, I think one of them is going to have to step up and take charge. It's going to, even if it's this series or the next series, it's going to happen that one of them going to have to say, hey, I got it, follow behind me. One of them have to do it.
And just to wrap up this, I don't think that one of them has to unless they're going against the Golden State Warriors. I feel like Philly, again, attrition's going to catch up to them. It's hard with James Harden being 30+ to try to carry a team offensively. Joel Embiid is trying to play through an injury. They already said this injury should have really kept him out about a month. So you got a banged up Embiid. You got an advanced age James Harden. The Celtics don't really have to get 27. I mean, Jaylen Brown and Tatum don't really have to do all that.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And then next series, let's just go ahead and let's write off the Knicks. They're done. They're going to get some Miami Heat. What Jimmy Butler is doing, I've never seen. I tell everybody this. You got a guy with a basic swingman 2K package and everything. He's basic swingman 1. When you buy the game, that's the default swingman package. That's all he has to his game. Watching Jimmy Butler score, it hurts your eyes because it looks like he's working so damn hard. But he's making it work. But
so I don't get canceled on YouTube. This is CBD, ladies and gentlemen. This is CBD.
There you go. But I think that the Celtics are going to be able to cakewalk through the Heat, and the Heat's storybook season will end. It's just against Golden State. Yes, you're going to have to get more 30 and 40-point games from Jason Tatum, but right now, I don't think he has to. I think they just need to make sure they make it out of the series healthy.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what we got next?
I feel like this next game.
Hey, hold on, Heat fan. That motherfucker said, "Fuck this series." These niggas done.
Fucking game. Did you not just see it? I'm staring up. Them donkeys.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, man. Go ahead and put all that cattle over there to the pasture. Go ahead and put all that. It's done. It's done. You think the Knicks still got a shot?
Oh no.
I mean, I ain't gonna go crazy now. I'm just, me personally, I was just one that was I became a Knicks fan a little bit just because me personally, I've been following Julius Randle for a couple of years now, and I'm just kind of glad I seen the growth and seeing that he was a lot more aggressive this year.
Oh, he could play.
And I feel like Jalen Brunson was like the best. I feel like Jalen Brunson was the best thing that the Knicks could have gave him. And I feel like Josh Hart is a slept-on addition to that Knicks team.
They don't have enough. It don't matter what. Like, I mean, I understand you having your point.
No, the Knicks. Myself personally, just looking at them play, they are literally. If they keep this same team, like I have to go look and see. I have to go look and see who are going to be the free agents coming out this offseason. But they're literally a piece away, bro.
Look,
me personally, I'm getting rid of RJ Barrett right now while his stock is so high.
Yes.
Right now, while RJ Barrett's stock is so high, I'm going to go get another consistent shooter.
Not very good.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
Oh, I said RJ Barrett to me is what's going to kind of hold this team back. And I get it. You know, what he kind of reminds me of.
They drafted him. That's the only reason why they're trying to hold on to him. That's the only reason why they're trying to pay him.
Like, being a Miami Heat fan, when we drafted Justice Winslow, we tried so hard to get something out of him. We did not want to admit that we were wrong. Now, RJ Barrett Justice Winslow, but it's still the same kind of quirkiness with his offensive game. RJ Barrett is not a smooth offensive player like how we thought he was going to be when he came out of Duke. He's constantly up and down offensively, and that position is too important to have somebody who's not elite in that spot. To me, if I'm the Knicks, I'm going to try to see if Washington's done with Bradley Beal, and I would just see if they're willing to just do a player-for-player swap. Because if you put a guy like Bradley Beal at that two-guard spot with Brunson,
it's still not enough.
I think it's enough to make them possibly a conference finals team.
Look,
now you got a legitimate guy who could go and get you 30.
All right, now,
I feel like that Bradley Beal would be enough in the sense is that you can finally match up with the team scoring wise.
It's not enough.
But they're gonna. But the Knicks are gonna have to give up more than just Barrett and they can't stop at just Beal. They're gonna have to go get some defense because the only thing that RJ Barrett does consistently is play defense. The fact that he's doing all this scoring in the playoffs, I can't do nothing but applaud the man. I wasn't expecting none of this from him. I damn sure wasn't expecting none of that from him in the first round. But the fact that they knocked off Cleveland in 5 games and he had a decent game damn near every game.
Look. All that
nigga now while his stock is high.
Yeah. Okay,
we saw what they did with Jalen Brunson. He got paid $100 million because of what? He had one good playoff series.
Look, all that sounds good, but y'all missing the whole point of the NBA and why it's changing. See, the real reason why that shit ain't working because the NBA is switching right now. Bro, the Miami Heat is only good as because they got a better curve than any team. What the real problem with that Knicks team is the same problem with the damn Cavaliers team. It's the same problem with the Atlanta team. It don't matter. These small guards are almost done for. No matter how you want to say the way because it's the difference between season and playoffs. They will always have great seasons. But once the playoff starts, you're going to see a 6'7", 6'8" person on the point guard. So that shit they was doing in the season is not going to work. And the reason why that the Heat smacking them up because all of them 6'7" and up. They are switching the whole game where everybody's 6'7" and up. When you switch, you still have another 6'8" person on you. Now that's why Jalen Brunson is struggling. Because literally, and that's the same reason why the Cavaliers has got their ass whooped because they put 6'7" people on Donovan Mitchell, Garland. When you started having these big people, they switching on you, but they don't do in the season, it's going to become a problem. The same reason why Dame Lillard can't get off the goddamn playoffs. So now what I'm saying to you is that it's not going to be enough getting another small guard.
Bradley Beal like 6'4", 6'5". Bradley Beal's 6'4", so he's not.
Yeah, okay, even 6'4". Look, if you're, and the only reason why I'm gonna say this is why I'm saying it, but like this, if you don't have a pure shooter as your shooting guard, that's like Klay Thompson. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. Klay Thompson, he's what 6'7", some shit like that.
I mean,
as a two guard. I'm just saying 2 guards. And Steph Curry 6'3".
Is
If
great.
you-
No, I say that same thing, but that's also why a guy like Bradley Beal will help. Bradley Beal will be your 2 guard. If my shooting guard is 6'4", that's ideal. Like that's where I want to be. Now Donovan Mitchell's about 6'1", and then Darius Garland's like they list him at 6'3", but I think he's more 6'2". So yes, 100%. That when you get to the playoffs, some of those small guards, unless you're just an absolute elite talent, it becomes a little bit harder because teams are playing defense. Miami, Max Strus is 6'5". You got, Jimmy Butler, who's like 6'7". They got a lot of big, tall guys that they're putting out there, and they are playing physical defense. But at the end of the day, you need a guy that's going to get you a bucket. With Jimmy Butler, you kind of hold your breath because you just know he has a 7 for 25 game coming. It's coming. It's inevitable. Jimmy Butler, one of these games is going to go 7 for 25. You don't want him to be your best offensive player. My take on Butler is you want him to be – it's great if he's your best player, but never your best offensive player. Miami right now has 7 undrafted players on that team. This is a testament to Eric Spoelstra. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The best coach in basketball, the best coach we've seen in the last 20 years is Eric Spoelstra. He is. Not even just talking about the stuff he did with the Big Three. He took that 15-67 Heat team that he inherited, and they won 45 games that very next year. Since LeBron and D-Wade have been gone, he's made the NBA Finals, and this Heat team is poised to probably do it again. Eric Spoelstra is just – he's
an amazing coach.
Constantly turning lemons into lemonade.
But that GM is smart too. And mark my words when I tell you.
Oh, is he frozen?
Yeah, he freezing up.
Yeah.
You see the NBA switch. Hell, you can if you play 2. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Freezing up a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. Yeah, but I'm like, even like I say, and I know people don't compare 2K, but I'm saying this is how these guards are becoming like LaMelo Ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to start having, you're going to have a pure dominant.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your connection, DC.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Go
bad.
ahead, finish your point. I'm gonna do my rebuttal, and then we gonna move on. Huh?
But yeah, go ahead.
He said, "Go ahead."
So this is just my response when it comes to your comment about pretty much how players got to play, well, pretty much small ball players. So the only players that I'm just looking at that has dropped off, well, actually, I take that back. Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, and Steph Curry
are what?
Are the only small guards whose numbers who dropped off. Now, clearly, 2 of them niggas are gone. But Jalen Brunson's numbers have actually went up as far as his percentage and his points.
Well, I would almost
hold on. Rebuttal that. Against a Cavaliers team that doesn't have that, and that's why they were so unmatched. Because they do not have the talent of 6'7", 6'8" people to play against Jalen Brunson, but the Heat do.
It was midgets on midgets, man. It was midget wrestling.
And that's why they was getting cooked. And that's the reason why they got cooked out the playoffs.
It was good on good, man. It was good on good. It was midgets versus
and
got badass Kyle Lowry on them sometimes.
Exactly. Do you see how bad it got dominated? Because they didn't have – see, that's the reason why the Cavaliers don't have enough. It's all good during the regular season, but once playoffs hit and they put 6, 7 on, you're going to crumble. It's going to look bad. That's why they got
so before we move on to this next topic real quick, I just want to make sure that I just get this out the way. Andre.
Yes, sir.
Eric Spoelstra,
best
better coach than Greg Popovich.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. 100%. 100%. I could go on. I'm gonna just give me about 1 minute. This is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna
You
say.
got 60 seconds, my brother.
This is what I'm gonna say with Eric Spoelstra. A lot of people that aren't Heat fans, they think that this Filipino man just came out the year that the Big Three started. But that is so damn wrong. When Miami lost Shaq, when Shaq quit on us, we're gonna say when he quit on us, and we got
he was on the coaching staff before he got the head coach job, right?
First of all, he was the video man. He was the video coordinator. He was a film guy. Then he finally moved to the bench. All right. And then when we got rid of Shaq, and then when we got Jermaine O'Neal and all that nonsense, we had these sorry ass teams. Miami went 15-67. That very next year, Pat Riley was like, I am done with this shit. I'm just going to move to the front office. Eric Spoelstra came in. Miami went from a 15-67 team to winning 45 games. D-Wade led the league in scoring, and they won a playoff series. I mean, Eric Spoelstra, since he's been in the league, has done nothing but win with nobodies. How many careers has he revitalized? He made Hassan Whiteside damn near almost a max player. He made Kendrick Nunn an NBA Finals guard. I mean, come on, he's done so many things with limited players than any coach. Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan, Hall of Famer on the NBA 75 team. Tony Parker, Hall of Famer, Finals MVP on the NBA 75 team. Manu Ginobili, Hall of Famer, should have been on the NBA 75 team. Kawhi Leonard will be a Hall of Famer, should have been on the NBA 75 team. Now, I'm not saying that Greg Popovich hasn't done a lot of stuff with guys we've never heard of. Well, the biggest joke everybody talks about is how the Spurs will draft and stash, and all of a sudden we'll see that player 5 years later, whether it's Thiago Splitter or whoever. But Eric Spoelstra, it's not said enough about what he does with fucking birds than anybody else. This Heat team, 7 undrafted players are about to be playing in the Eastern Conference Finals game. And we're not talking about this guy as the best coach we've seen in the last 20, 30 years. Come on, man. Stop the shit. Stop the bullshit, man. Stop it.
My job.
I don't know about that, dog.
Man, you don't gotta know about that. I know about that.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. To be honest with you, I agree, because he didn't have the foundation that Pop has. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Pop had interchanging pieces, but bro,
whoa.
Bro, if you got, I don't care what nobody say. Name like this right now, Steve Kerr, right? No matter how people want to shape it, I don't care how you want to look at it.
He walked into
if you have a foundation of players that's in their prime, you're gonna have an easy road as a coach. Because there's no way you can tell me Steve Kerr, he put pieces together. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not saying he didn't do nothing as a coach, but what you're not going to tell me is that he's the greatest coach of all time because they won championships. And I know that's what you're about to say about Pop. He got more championships.
No, it's not, but keep going.
But what I'm saying is, when you have a solid 3, that shit runs itself. When you're an NBA superstar like Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Park, like when you're those type of players, they run that team in that locker room. So when you have them 3, you can talk to Tim Duncan talks to everybody else. That's how it's ran. So when I'm saying it to you, when you have a foundation of any team, you just adding pieces now. And that's the same thing the Warriors going through now. When you have Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, even as I say they solid 3. Right now, you can just put pieces as in Wiggins, Looney. You can just interchange everybody else as long as your 3 is solid. That's how most NBA teams are ran.
And I'll say this, and that's a great point, because like think about it, even with Greg Popovich, yes, he didn't necessarily. When he started in '96, David Robinson was already there.
Exactly.
You had David. Yes, he was at the tail end kind of his career, but you're starting off with this great piece, and now you're bringing a Hall of Fame power forward in Tim Duncan. So he had kind of a smoother path. And even Greg Popovich said it himself. He says, Greg, what's the key to success? He says having great players. Having great players is the key to success. But if we look at Eric Spoelstra, yes, he had LeBron James for 4 years, and they won 2 titles with him. And those are the only 2 titles that Eric Spoelstra has. But I think his best work has came outside of that 4-year window. When LeBron left, the fact that he was able to squeeze the rag with Chris Bosh and make Chris Bosh an All-NBA player before he had to retire. The way he was able to bring Dwayne Wade back, bring him off the bench, and how they were able to be competitive in the playoffs. The stuff that outside of Greg Popovich coaching those Hall of Fame players, we can't say these same things about him. We can't. Since Tony Parker left, Manu, Tim Duncan, please tell me a memorable Pop moment. I can't tell you more.
So this is my only problem with, you trying to diminish Greg Popovich just because he had David Robinson when he was there. You just named off LeBron. You named how many of these players that you talking about with X? How many of those players did he draft? Because he didn't draft LeBron. D Wade was already there. He didn't draft He did not draft Chris Bosh. Ray Allen got traded there. Shane Battier got traded there. So you're trying to get hold on. You're trying to get so much praise to this goddamn coaching, and all of these Hall of Fame players that you're talking about Greg Popovich has, he drafted. He drafted Tony Parker. He drafted Tim Duncan. What are you talking about? He drafted Tim Duncan. Nigga, we killed Kawhi Leonard. He drafted Kawhi.
Okay.
He didn't draft Kawhi.
First of all,
he didn't draft Kawhi. That's a lie.
Kawhi Leonard came in as a San Antonio Spur. He drafted Kawhi Leonard.
But again,
he had to trade it to Indiana.
This with the Heat. My point with this with the Heat. Again, you
was in Indiana first.
They drafted, but
he still made the trade happen.
No, I'm saying his best work. Think about it. He made Mario Chalmers a second-round guy, a second-round pick from Kansas, an NBA starting point guard. He was able to put Mario Chalmers in that position. He was able to get guys like Daquan Cook. Hold on.
Norris Cole.
He was able to get guys like Jason Capono, guys like Duncan Robinson, either undrafted or late in the second.
Hold on. I'm gonna make it very easy for both of y'all, so y'all don't have to argue y'all points. Take LeBron, Bosh, right? Them years LeBron was there. Take them years off of. Hold on. Take them years away. Now also take away Tim Duncan.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
What I'm saying to you is this.
You can't do that.
Hold on, no, you can, because if you take the superstars from the team,
because those players. No, those players that you're talking about with Eric Spoelstra, he had to trade. LeBron came in as a free agent and they had to get Chris Bosh in the trade.
Okay.
So Greg Popovich drafted all of those players.
Hold on. Chris, how many y'all would have won if y'all didn't trade
if you want to talk about how great of a coach they are,
he would have had one less, DC.
But I'm saying what I'm saying to push Eric Spoelstra ahead of Greg Popovich. When Eric Spoelstra does not have Hall of Fame players, he still has Hall of Fame moments. Him taking that Heat team in 2020, I know it's a bubble team, but you have Jimmy Butler, who has a limited offensive game. And then you have Tyler Hero, who led the team.
He won Sixth Man of the Year.
Sixth Man of the Year? Come on, man. He led the team in scoring and took them to the NBA Finals. And then what he's doing.
Yes, 6 man of the year.
What he's doing.
You tried to talk about James Harden and OKC.
Both his Victor Oladipo and Tyler Hero, his 2 lead guards, are both out. And they're about to go to the NBA Finals, possibly. Greg Popovich.
Yeah, it's not even close.
How long has Kawhi been gone from this team? For the last, 5 years? 5 years or so? I can't give you a Greg Popovich moment. Now, let's not say he didn't have good players, because Kelvin Johnson can play. Derek White could play. He has had players on that team.
Mary?
Jones, the guard, can play. Lonnie Walker can play. There have been players on that team. He has not won with them. I guarantee you, you go give Eric Spoelstra, Derek White, You go get Eric Spoelstra, Calvin Johnson. You go get Eric Spoelstra, Lonnie Walker. He's going to win some games with those guys. That is
Or at least
coaching.
make the playoffs.
That
I ain't going
exactly
for
in a tougher conference.
I ain't going for that.
Man, you don't have.
You got me
He's
lost for
not
that, bro. You got me lost for that,
What-
bro.
okay,
Ain't no
what-
way in hell. Ain't
When
no way
last
in
time
hell.
the Spurs made the playoffs? Was it like 3 years ago?
Hey,
Playoffs.
so
Play-in. Did they make the play-in last year?
Nah, I don't think so.
Come on, man. Like, where's the coaching? Where is it? Come on, man.
He no different than a Phil Jackson, man.
Yeah, I want to see what he can do without Hall of Famers. Is all I'm saying. We have not seen him do anything memorable without Hall of Famers. Without Hall of Famers, Jimmy Butler gives you Hall of Fame effort, and he probably.
If you want to say Phil Jackson with the Bulls, yeah, but I mean, I'll say the same thing with the Lakers because Phil Jackson left. Kobe wanted. That's how he won them last two was with Phil Jackson. But I'm not finna just sit here. But at the end of the day, bro, when I'm looking at it hold on. Dismiss. Go ahead.
Hold on, my favorite before you. Hold on? Cause I just want to make sure we on the same page. We do agree, right? Once LeBron left, right, and D Wade left too, they don't have a superstar since, right? We do agree to that, right?
Well, I think Jimmy Butler, he's not a superstar.
Hold on. We're not talking about all-star players. We're talking about superstar.
Oh, yeah, no, they don't have a superstar.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
No.
Okay. And we agree that from when Timmy and Ginobili and Parker left, they best play was what, Murray and Johnson and all them, right?
Nah, they had that same year that the 18-19 season. When they did that first year when they had that trade with him and DeMar DeRozan, they made it to the playoffs.
They had
I want to say they took Denver to 7 games that series. Yeah, I want to say they took Denver to 7 games that series,
and they still ain't do shit.
I mean, they took them to 7 games. I mean,
but again,
7 games is an accomplishment.
We talk about DeMar DeRozan.
I would rather you give me 7 games than get swept.
I'm
looking at it like that. Like I'm looking at it like that, DC. Like I'm not finna dismiss the fact that they lost. Like I'm not gonna say no, they lost. But I would rather see you go down in a fight through 7 games than you get your ass whooped in 4. That's all I'm saying.
But what happened after that? What happened to Denver after that?
Traded. He got traded.
No. I'm not talking about the Spurs. What happened to Denver after that?
They went to the bubble the next year, went to the Western Conference Finals, and been in the first round since, and now we see them now.
I'm saying it. So when you talk about the Spurs and the Nuggets, was that the bubble or before then?
That was before that. That was 18, 19.
Okay.
That was before that.
But
after that.
Here's a point I'm gonna make.
Go ahead.
All right, so here's my
nigga. The Spurs ain't been to the playoffs since. If you want to be funny,
I was talking about the Nuggets.
The Spurs haven't been to the playoffs in 4 years.
Go to Game 7 when you're not playing.
But here's my point. I'm very exposed to and Greg Popovich, and I'm glad you brought up DeMar DeRozan because if we look at them just from pure ability, DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler aren't too far off. They're not too far off. Ability-wise, they're on the same level. But you got Eric Spoelstra who was able to take his same level guy and squeeze the rag and take him to the final.
Yeah, but before we go there, I'm not gonna see it. I feel like that the team that Jimmy got with the Heat is better than that team that DeMar had that team that year.
No. That Miami Heat team that went to the NBA Finals. You have a pick and roll guy in Bam Adebayo.
Was Hero a rookie that year?
Very young player in Tyler Hero.
Was he a rookie?
That was out there.
But he was. What? He's still 6th man of the year.
Hold on. Was Tyler Hero a rookie that year? He was a rookie. I believe he was a rookie that year.
Oh yeah. I think that was his rookie season.
But wasn't that still hold on. Did he not get 6th man of the year?
That was last year he got it. That's last year he got 6th man of the year.
Yeah, he was a rookie that year.
Yeah.
Because nobody was expecting him to start going off like that. He didn't start going off until the playoffs.
Yeah. Because he wasn't even because Kendrick.
Look, I had to go back and look. I had to go back and look at that Spurs. No, like I'm not finna disagree with y'all, but I'd have to go back and look at that Spurs team, man.
Kendrick Nunn no one knew who the fuck
Pop
this
had
guy
better
was.
talent. I don't care.
He's
Pop had better. Then they had like Marcus Aldridge and who?
Who?
The Spurs. When LaMarcus
Oh yeah,
Aldridge
they had LaMarcus Aldridge. Come on, you had
DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan. Dog, they had much better talent. Much better talent. Look at this Heat team.
So you taking LaMarcus Aldridge over Bam Adebayo at that time?
I'm taking Marcus Aldridge over anybody on the Miami Heat that year.
You had Duncan Robinson, undrafted guy. You had Tyler Hero his rookie season. You had Kendrick Nunn. Okay, you got a good role player in Jay Crowder. Dragic, who could not play. Solomon Hill. Airplane mode, Derrick Jones. You mean to tell me that team, that's not squeeze? You take that team to the finals? To the finals.
Say, man.
And take it down to
you really discount that roster.
And you win games against Anthony.
I really think you discounting that roster, but we can go on to the next topic, man.
Oh, yeah, because I got to go to sleep soon, man. Y'all over here give me freaking hemorrhoids out here.
Yeah, I really think you dismissing that Heat team, but we can move on to the next topic, man.
Who do you want from
you can unmute your mic. You can
speak anymore. Do you want me?
Huh?
Hey, we can play. Somebody play that Twist the Hopeful song so I can read out what's going on with these guys now. You want me to read what's happening to them now in this league? Half of them ain't in the game. No more. Half of them ain't in the league no more, man. Cute Twist.
That's all fine and dandy, man. That's cute. That's real cute. That's real cute.
What's the next topic?
Yeah, but the next topic, man, NFL. We done seen what everybody done did with the draft. So pretty much these next couple of weeks, what I want to do, I want to kind of go ahead and break it down by division. And I want to kick it off with kind of a hard one. Since the draft is over with, and clearly we've seen the number one overall pick go there. I want to start with the NFC South. What's y'all predictions for the NFC South next year? We got Carolina that of course got the number one pick, took Bryce Young. We got Atlanta that got Bijan Robinson down there. We got the New Orleans Saints. They signed Derek Carr in the offseason. Tampa Bay signed Baker Mayfield in the offseason. So a lot of moving parts going on, my man. So what's your hey man,
Damn.
The NFC South, man. NFC South.
Go ahead, let us know, man. Wake up, wake up.
Okay, again, I'm going to start off by my number one team, and y'all going to call me crazy. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay Bucks. Okay?
I knew you do it.
Hey, again, y'all, everybody hates Baker
Hey, man,
Mayfield.
you a good friend. Hey, I hope I find somebody as loyal as you, man.
Y'all don't understand. Baker has had a different offensive coordinator every year of his career.
Getting the motherfuckers fired.
He has never been in a stable environment in his career in NFL. I think this year is a fresh start. Y'all saw how Jared Goff went from the Rams to Detroit. His career got rejuvenated. I think this is a good time for Baker. He's gonna have some good quarterbacks, some good receivers, a good defense, a good coach. I see positivity over here. So I'm going to go with Baker, number one. Number two, the Saints. I like the Derek Carr pickup. They have Chris Olave. Michael Thomas is coming back again. They have a stud. They had a top 10 defense last year. So I'm going to go with them, number two. Number three, I'm going to go with Atlanta. Atlanta is rebuilding. I guess the boy Riddler, they got a cold running back now, a cold wide receiver, and a cold tight end. That offense is pretty much damn near unstoppable.
That should be good on Madden.
And number four, I'm going to go with the Panthers. I cannot go for a quarterback that cannot even disclose his own weight at the combine.
What?
He chose not to weigh himself at the combine. That's how scary he is. So I think Carolina is going to regret that number one overall pick with Bryce Young. I don't think he's ready for it, but that's my opinion.
Man, we sat here patiently for about an hour and 30 minutes to wait to hear for you to talk about football, and that's what you gave us. That was
blasphemous.
That's terrible, man. I'll go ahead and I'll go on this topic. I feel, I mean, it's a battle of who wants to lose the least. You know what I mean? Not who wants to win. This division is going to be really about who wants to lose the least because they all.
Remember, they are rebuilding. They are rebuilding.
Everybody's
rebuilding.
Home Depot right now. This is a Home Depot division. We all rebuilding and retooling. All right. I think the team that wants to lose the least might be New Orleans. I think New Orleans at least has a consistent running game. They got a good offensive and defensive line. Like he said, they got a good defense. And then they got a solid quarterback. I think Derek Carr is good for 9 wins. And 9 wins is going to win this division. I think with the Bucs, the problem with the Bucs right now, I hear what he's saying with Baker Mayfield and all this shit, but I'll give you an analogy. Let's talk about hood rats and street rats and corner girls. All right. We all know some of these street rat corner girls, unvaluable women, got 5 kids and yada, yada, yada. And they talk about all these men keep leaving them and ain't no good men out there. And they keep having all these different boyfriends. The reason why you can't keep a man, the reason why you got all these different boyfriends is you. Ain't nobody want to be with you. You got 5 kids. You overweight. Your breath stink. Nobody want to be with you. Baker Mayfield, you keep having all these different offensive coordinators because you keep getting them fired. You are sorry. You are sorry. If you were good, they would have to keep sending to these motherfuckers, man. They would have to. They already gave you all that money, so they're like, shit, man, let's go ahead and bring somebody. Maybe somebody can fix him. Nobody could. He should have stayed with the Rams where at least for some moments he looked like he could be a quality NFL backup. Now he's going to a team with a defensive-minded head coach. Tom Bowles is going to be looking at that motherfucker saying, man, I don't know shit. You were the number 1 pick. Figure it out. It's not going to be good. But, again, I feel Tampa Bay brought in Baker Mayfield because they know he can help them lose games. That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to lose those games and try to win the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. That's what this division is going to be all about.
You see, Drake, if I could interject the Baker Mayfield head.
Yeah.
Do you remember that he broke the most record for a rookie quarterback touchdown in the season? Baker is not a bad quarterback. He just in horrible situations.
Baker's not a bad quarterback. He's an awful quarterback. He's terrible. He is one of the worst starting quarterbacks. He is the worst starter. If he starts game 1, he's the worst starting quarterback in the league. He's awful. So then
if you look at Baker's numbers and Kyler's numbers,
let's stop looking at
they're pretty identical.
His numbers are terrible. Kyler at least gives you rushing yards. He's at least a running threat. Baker Mayfield can't run. He is a donkey. I discussed that a few weeks ago. He is a donkey. Donkeys can't.
At the same time, I really can't look at both of them no different, bro. Both of them only got 1 win this season.
Man, look, Kyler Murray, at least he's at least as a
like, I feel you. Like, if you looking at talent, bro, but at the end of the day, we got to look at what you done. We can say that Kyler Murray is better, but I got to look at what you shown me on the field. And they both only they have both only given me 1 winning season.
Oh, Chris, before I finished my thing yet, but even then,
okay, go ahead.
If they're both, I don't think Kyler Murray's good. But Kyler Murray, you have to at least respect the fact that he is a running threat. You have to. So if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm afraid at least of Kyler Murray because I'm like, shit, man, I got to make sure I put X amount of guys in the box. I can't, I can't go nickel because I know this guy can run the ball. Well, Baker Mayfield, shit, defensive tackles can catch that motherfucker. You ain't worried about it. You ain't worried about BakerMayfield like that. So
you calling him a Sam Bradford?
Sam Bradford is 20 times better than Baker Mayfield. 50.
Crazy, man.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Crazy.
Damn.
That's crazy, man.
Numbers. Sam Bradford had some years.
At least Baker is healthy. Sam Bradford. Like,
Baker Mayfield is
stay
sorry.
healthy.
I will take an injured Sam Bradford. I don't know where Sam is right now. I would take him over Baker Mayfield. That motherfucker might be a Quiznos. He might be a Quiznos right now ordering the sub. I'm taking that motherfucker right now.
You taking Cam Newton over him?
Oh, right now. I'm taking Cam. I'm back. I'm back. I'm taking Cam Newton. I'm back. I'm taking that nigga all this crazy ass hair.
That nigga disrespectful.
Colin Kaepernick's probably somewhere with Colin Powell right now. I'm taking that motherfucker right now, man. Come on, man. I'm taking his ass. I'm telling you. But to finish my division shit. So third place team is going to be the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young, look, he's small. I get it. But the motherfucker can play football. Look, Bryce Young
He's going for 4 games.
The only criticism I ever had with this guy is he's small. But when it comes to spinning that fucking ball, nigga, go turn on goddamn film. Bryce Young can throw the football. And I think Bryce Young early on is going to be exciting enough that the Panthers might start the season off 3-0. They might win 5 out of their 8 games. And then Bryce Young, we all know.
Remember Panthers wide receiver. Like who on that offense is good?
They
running back.
Adam Thielen. You know, they went and got some guys. Then they drafted somebody too, didn't they? Did they draft a receiver like in the 2nd round?
Like,
but again, we always see this. Quarterbacks come in, and once the rookie quarterback comes in, he's going to get a relationship with somebody on that roster. You know, there may be a guy from last year that he gets a good rapport with, and all of a sudden you see a guy, a fantasy waiver wire guy.
I feel you on that. It'll be a random motherfucker, somebody we never thought of.
Yeah. Again, it might be DJ Chark. Who knows? DJ Chark's had success. It might be a kid.
Did he sign with them?
Oh yeah,
he did.
He did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got Terrence Marshall. So you do got some guy. Like, and look, I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden Preston Williams or Leviticus Chenault, somebody like that has success with quarterback like Bryce Young. Who knows? But I'm just saying that they end up winning maybe about.
I'm not mad at that though. I'm not mad at that because wasn't nobody talking about Cooper Kupp until Matthew Stafford came in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
All of a sudden, new quarterbacks build relationships with different receivers. And then, of course, my thing with the Atlanta Falcons, we talk about all this talent that they got. Do y'all want to know the reason why Desmond Ridder is the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons? Because they know he's going to do exactly what they want. They know that they can trust him with finishing the story. They know all their dreams can come true with Desmond Ridder as their starting quarterback because they know that this motherfucker is not going to win at all. They know Desmond Ridder's a donkey. They know Desmond Ridder ain't going to win more than 2 games.
But that doesn't make sense. Why not keep Mariota then if they wanted to?
No. Hey, Mariota going to run around a bit. Mariota might sneak 2 or 3 games. He's a veteran.
Well, no, like I think Atlanta is definitely keeping their options open because they got Mariota, they got Desmond Ridder, and they signed they signed Heineke too. Heineke got a nice little check.
Hold on. You talking as if this is a football organization trying to win games. You got to slow your roll, Chris.
No. I'm not saying that they're trying to win games, but I feel like that. What's the word I'm looking for? I feel like they're trying to give the optics. Because
they at least want to fool the fans. It's going to be some smoke and mirrors. The Atlanta Falcons are trying to win the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. They're trying to win the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. That's all that's going.
That is a big possibility. Like I said, it's the optics of it. What did they do? They already had Mariota that they signed last year. They already had Desmond Ridder on the squad that they drafted. They gonna get Tyler. They gonna get.
I'm about to say hey, we got him, Chris.
Yeah,
the Eagles have Mariota. Go have Mariota.
They got Andy Dalton. Oh no! I'm tripping. No.
Nah, it's Heineke.
Man, it's hard to keep up with. They got Heineke and who else?
and Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
So they let go of Mary. Okay, so they got Heineke and they got Desmond Ritter. So even still, it's the optics of it, bro. They went and go sign Heineke, and what does Heineke show us? Oh, he almost beat Tom Brady in the playoffs 2 years ago. Oh, Heineke was playing, in my view, in my eyes, Heineke was playing a lot better than Carson Wentz last year. If you ask me, if Heineke would have been staying in the game, the NFC East would have had 4 teams in the playoffs, and that's just how I feel. I feel like that team played. They feel like they played a lot harder for Heineke than they did for Wentz. Because is Wentz in the league right now? Okay, I didn't think so.
Chris, you know what I tell my side females?
Just said playing harder than a nigga.
Hold on, DC, this live. Hold on, DC, this live. Hold on, DC, this live. Hold on, wait, this live. I can't edit this. You know I can't edit this, right?
They know. It's just feelings.
Make sure you know I can't edit this shit, right? Nah, hey, nigga, hey. This is live on YouTube right now. I can't edit nothing you say.
But my whatchamacallit take is really much simple. I don't see the Falcons wanting to win. Like, you know what I mean? It sounds good, but I don't see
No.
Because like you said, I feel like they're really trying to get their quarterback. So
but you gotta at least make it look competitive. That's my whole thing. You gotta make. That's why I say the optics. You gotta make it look like you trying, bro.
Well, look, but you gotta understand is the optic is giving to the running back. Like the optics is we have.
That's why they drafted him.
Exactly. So guess what they
do? You got Desmond Ritter. You go sign Tyler Heineke, and you can tell your general manager. Yeah, you can tell your general manager, hey, this nigga almost beat Tom Brady.
Yeah, but now look, it's all for the show. They trying to lose. No matter how you want to look, it's all for the show. We draft a running back this high. It's all for the show. Everybody gonna be focused on what the running back do and what we win about. They not caring about.
I don't think, but the problem is I don't think so because they added a lot to their defense. They added 2 new safeties, added a linebacker. They have a cold ass tight end. They have one.
The reason why
the final piece, E, do you know how chess go?
Okay, so I'm gonna give my little spiel on this.
Apart. You get stronger.
Go ahead.
It's ready for your move, and that's what the Falcons doing right now. They building their defense, they building their offense, and now they looking for that final piece, and they gonna be like, "Hello, king me." Okay.
So Andre, let me ask you this: if I asked you, what are the top 4 positions on a football team? 2 on offense, 2 on defense.
Simple.
What positions do you feel like those have to be?
God damn.
Huh?
Shit. All right.
Well, I'll ask you too, E. If I told you had to have 4 positions.
No, Andre, I didn't say nothing. I said simple. That's it. I said go ahead. Answer the question.
Yeah, Andre. If I had to tell you 4 positions, 2 on offense, 2 on defense, and I'm gonna ask all of y'all, Andre, 2 positions, 2 on offense, 2 on defense. What do you have to have locked up?
Oh, number one thing, you got to have an elite quarterback. You have to elite, big time quarterback, and I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. You know, 3 years ago, I said quarterback, and I would say a 3-down back. But now, the way the game is, I'm saying quarterback, and I'm gonna say you got to have a true outside the numbers receiver that can play outside and also inside. So you need a Jamar Chase, you need a Stephon Diggs. On the defensive end, and again, I think it depends on how you want to build your defense. But I say you have to have a true.
But let's just say an overall formula that can work. An overall formula.
Oh yeah. So what works no matter what. Okay.
Yeah.
You need an elite pass rusher. So you need an elite pass rusher. You know what? Can I say the same thing? You need 2 elite pass rushers. One on the outside and one on the interior. So you need I would say build the defensive line. So an interior pass rusher and an edge rusher. That to me, those are the 4 most positions right now. 4 most important positions.
Okay, E. So we can recap. Dynamic quarterback. And you said a dynamic quarterback and an outside receiver, right? Okay. And on the defense, pretty much
rusher,
people that get to the quarterback. People, one on the inside, one on the outside. So edge rusher and somebody on the interior. Okay, E. Okay, E. 4 positions. 2 on the offensive side, 2 on the offensive side, 2 on the defensive side. Most important.
Elite quarterback, I agree as well. A little different. I don't need a stud receiver. I will go for an elite tight end in today's market. A tight end that pretty much plays like a receiver and also can help you with the run block. Somebody like a Kittle or something like even like Kelsey, just an elite tight end today is more important to me than a receiver. Okay.
Yeah, because I can feel you because nobody looks at Kelsey as a blocker, but he gets so much attention that people for the passing game, people don't realize his big ass can block. Okay, so all right, so defense, what you got?
Defense, I need a pass rusher, left side pass rusher that goes against the right tackle, because most right tackles cannot pass block; they're predominantly run blockers. So I need a cold ass T.J. Watt type of pass rush and a solid cornerback.
Okay. So just to recap, you agree with the elite quarterback, but you would rather have a tight end, and on the defensive side, you agree with the pass rush, but you want a pass rush and an elite cornerback. All right, DC.
Same what either said, but I'll take 2 pass.
So you want a quarterback and a tight end?
Quarterback and a tight end.
Okay, so the defense, what you want?
You give me Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson and Gronk, I'll be cool on offense.
Okay.
But on defense, I'll just say 2 pass rushes because I feel like I don't think nobody really can play that much good defense for real. That's going to make a difference of a game. I'm not saying the cornerback can't. I just feel like if you pressure that quarterback, you have a better chance of winning.
Everybody gonna look like an elite corner if you got elite pass rushes over there.
You just play run zone.
Back there.
So with me personally, I understand that the league is going more quarterback driven, but just with the teams that I like to see, if you ask me just specifically on offense,
let me guess the 49ers.
Give me a top tier tackle. A top tier tackle. Give me a tackle and a quarterback. Give me a top tier left tackle and a quarterback.
Them niggas ain't blocking these edge rushers, man.
Give me a top tier tackle to deal with these edge rushers y'all talking about, and give me a quarterback. That's just me personally. And that's just because as far as y'all know I'm a Baltimore fan, so that's a little biased. But at the same time, I like how San Francisco runs their shit. Andre, you said yourself, you don't feel like that the 49ers are just, as far as their wide receiver talent, is just they have good wide receivers, but the only difference with them, they've proven that they can run that shit with every quarterback. So that's with them, that's a little bit of a anomaly. But just me personally, give me a decent quarterback. I ain't even saying electrifying. Give me a decent quarterback and a left tackle.
So do you believe it's more of the, when you say that like San Francisco and all that about the quarterback, do offensive coordinator count? It's the way they run their shit? You think do that count as an offensive?
Oh, yeah, no. San Francisco's success has a lot to do with Shanahan. 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so let me take that back. Okay, so I guess it's kind of hard for me to say just the offensive tackle. I guess give me more of like a decent offensive line. Because at the same time, I love that nigga Jared Goff. Because I like hold on. Because I like Jared Goff, but Jared Goff he had his guard, Penei Sewell. That nigga was giving that nigga Aaron Donald problems. So I guess it's kind of hard for me to say. Like, I just want you to have like a one of your pieces on the offensive line has to be dominant. I don't care if it's a guard. I don't care if it's a tackle. Just one of the pieces has to be dominant. And I guess I can't really say a decent offense, a decent quarterback because we asking for like the top of the top. So give
Well, Chris,
me.
let me ask you a question then. The last
Go
2
ahead.
years, which team in the AFC has been able to compete with Mahomes? The same team the past 2 years. Cincinnati Bengals. You know Joe Burrow was the most sacked quarterback 2 years ago? And he was
Wait,
the
say that
third
again?
most sacked. You know
Wait, say that again?
Joe Burrow was the most sacked quarterback 2 years ago.
Wait,
and
you
he went
said
to
what
Super Bowl.
team has been able to compete with who?
The Bengals.
The Bengals. The Chiefs, which is the
The
Bengals, right?
Chiefs?
Yeah, the past 2 years, which team in the AFC has competed with Kansas City? The Bengals, right? Like they'd be the most, team to give Kansas City a run for their money.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because they played.
Chris, it's not a hard concept.
No, they
to
played.
understand
No, they
now.
played Kansas City. They played Kansas City in the championship game the past 2 years, right?
Correct.
I mean,
yes.
the Bengals played Kansas City the past 2 years in the championship game, right?
And their line is sorry than a bitch, boy.
Sorry than a bitch. He was the most sacked quarterback 2 years ago. It was the third most sacked a year ago.
He got elite receivers.
Hold on. The only comeback I have to that is that we don't look at Kansas City defensive line as world beaters. That's the only reason. So in response to your question, I will say that it's the Cincinnati Bengals. I will say it's the Cincinnati Bengals that has been giving Kansas City the most problems.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
Jones, yeah.
Bro, hold on. Go look at Kansas City hold on. Go look at Chris Jones included and go look at Kansas City's numbers last year before the playoffs. They were not playing like that.
We're talking about D-line, though.
That's what I said. Chris Jones and that D-line was not playing like that until they got to the playoffs. That's why
So
what I'm saying is not crazy.
15 sacks last year. How did he have 15
said what?
sacks last year? He had 15 sacks last year. What did he
From
do?
the interior, a true
From the
interior.
A true
Yeah.
He had 15 sacks last year.
This
That
is a
means he
2
was
wide,
balling
maybe
out.
3 tech.
Do we?
Hold on.
Do we have
Let
any
me
good
go.
defensive teams in the league?
No, hold on. So
Yes.
I'm finna.
What
So
team?
y'all
San Francisco.
talking about
Eagles.
last year, right?
The Eagles.
Eagles.
Nah, the Eagles be getting our ass toe up, and I'm an
But
Eagles
they're a
fan.
good defensive team. NFL teams are going to score points. You
All right,
can't-
so what
you
you're
can't
saying
look
is
Denver.
at that point.
So there's a bunch of average defensive teams now.
No,
Well,
Denver
you
was
can't
a
look
great
at
Bro,
defense
if
the
you
same way you
think
looked at
about it,
10
niggas was
years
scoring like
ago.
7 points.
It's harder to
in
play
Super Bowls.
defense now than it was, 10, 15 years ago. So you can't really look at it in the same regard. Teams are going to score. Hell, the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans scored points. Teams are going to be able to score. It's about getting to the quarterback. I mean, that's what defense is now. If you're able to get to the quarterback, if you're able to get off the field on third down, that's what defense is. If I did not watch a game, I'm going to look at what's the other team's third down conversion, how many QB pressures did we have. If we were able to get off the field on third down, if we had QB pressures, I'm liking our chance to have won that game.
Facts. Because like I said, Denver was a great defensive team. They held almost 10 teams under 20 points last year.
Yeah.
But because the offense was trash.
They had a solid quarterback.
Yeah, I just man, I ain't gonna lie. I don't see that many good defensive teams.
So the only reason, so I thought I just want to go look at the stats and make sure I wasn't tripping. So I understand the old boy led the league in sacks, but when I go, hold on.
He led the league.
When I go, wait, hold on. When I go back and look at the numbers, though, when I look at the top 10, 6 of those players, hold on, because y'all are laughing. But at the end of the day, when I go back and look at the top 10, 6 of those players in the top 10 did not make the playoffs. And on top, hold on, fuck that. And on top of that, Hassan Reddick, Hassan Reddick, who was on the Philadelphia Eagles, a championship team in the Super Bowl, who did not get a sack in the goddamn Super Bowl, was number 2. So at the end of the day, we can go off these numbers, but we got to look at game by game.
But sacks,
everybody don't get a sack.
I'm just saying sacks. I'm just saying sacks because they brought it up. Because they brought it up.
But that's why
they go off of these sacks for the end of the day, bro. We got to see what niggas is doing.
A quarterback like Mahomes, he's going to throw the ball out of bounds. You can't always look at sacks.
That's
gotta
cool.
look at pressure.
But the only reason
But
why I
nobody
brought
played
that up is
defense in the
because they
Super
tried
Bowl.
to bring up sacks. So I ain't going off of that.
No,
You gotta
because
go
you
off of
said
pressure.
you said Kansas City did
But-
not have a good D line, and we just said somebody had. He led the league in sacks, so he had to be a
Yep.
decent, D line person. That's
That
what
shit's
we're
pretty
saying.
important.
Yeah,
Man,
I mean,
look,
to
Yeah,
lead
them
the
that-
league.
niggas
You said you act like Reddick because he didn't have a sack in the Super Bowl. Man, he trash now. Nah,
I
he's
ain't
still
say he
great.
was no, I didn't say he was. I'm not saying he trash, and I ain't saying he ain't great. But y'all trying to make it seem like, oh, just because these niggas was leading in sacks and yada yada yada. But okay, what did they do when? How y'all was talking about when the lights is bright, when the moments matter? He ain't do nothing.
But this
The
is
Eagles-
football. This is football. It ain't like basketball where it's like you just scoring points.
No,
and some
I
shit.
get
Like,
you, but I'm just
getting
saying
the
that
sack-
the only reason why I brought it up was because they brought it up. Like when we yes, like Chris Jones as an individual was a great player on that defense. But when I'm talking about a defense as a whole, Kansas City was not playing like that during the regular season.
You never
It's
said
not
defense
wrong
as a
for me
whole.
to
You
say
Yeah, no,
that.
we're
D-line.
talking about straight
You
pass
said
rushers.
D-line. Yeah, you
Yeah.
said D-line. You never said defense as a
No,
whole.
Yeah, he
I said
they didn't have
I
a
said
great D-line. And we
defense.
said they had Chris Jones.
No, you didn't, Chris. Rewind it.
Well,
Hey,
You
is
said
the views
okay,
here?
You said-
okay,
Do we have
world,
any
I'm
viewers?
sorry. I
Please,
meant
hey,
defense.
please
but
leave.
Kansas
Hey,
City,
please leave some in the chat if you got views here. Please
man,
let us know
hey,
what you said.
it's one nigga there, but
It's one nigga. I'm working this hard
Let us
for
know
one
what he
nigga to
said.
watch me.
shit, it's probably me.
That's right. Oh man, that's funny, man. But
Oh man,
I get what
I'm
you're
tired,
saying.
man. I'm about to get off, man. Y'all niggas just be talking
But
about
no,
nothing.
man, we're gonna wrap it up though, because but we got our NFC South thing. That was really the one thing I wanted to get to. You see,
Go
Rod,
Baker.
Rod say quarterback, he say wide receiver, pass rusher, and
The
cornerback.
fuck, Rob? What's he doing?
Shit, he
moving.
packing, you know what I'm saying? He packing and watching, he supporting. You know what I'm saying?
We should have led that. That should have led the discussion, man. My nigga Rod. And what are the betting odds?
Hey, no, we ain't gonna do it more live. We ain't gonna do it more live. We ain't gonna do it on live, man.
Hey, Vegas. Hey,
Hey,
Vegas
DraftKings. Hey, we got one of the DraftKings on. This nigga's packing, bro.
Hey,
Hey, but
FanDuel.
y'all don't. Hey, y'all
they got
don't get
FanDuel
out just
on.
yet, man. But this been the Cold Truth Podcast. I'm your host, White Boy Chris. That's
Yes, sir.
Dre. That's DC. That's my boy E. Until next week, man. Y'all boys don't log off. We can talk about this in the background, man. But y'all be safe this week, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
It's funny, bro.